Just because we're on a multi-layer switch doesn't mean we don't have to configure routing. Dynamic routing is a must to advertise the subnets that exist in our VLANs to the rest of the domain. How do we do that? Well, we first have to make sure we know what dynamic routing protocol is serving as the IGP for our autonomous system. EIGRP and OSPF are the usual suspects. Your mileage may vary. Now, we're also going to want to make sure that we abide by the conventions of those people who are configuring our routers. You may be one of those people, but if you aren't, check with them. What conventions do they use? What features are implemented? Once you have a firm grasp on that, we can then take the time to set up the IGP. Let's say it's EIGRP. We do router EIGRP, match the autonomous system number, and then we configure our network statements. So turn on EIGRP, go into the process, enable the network commands that turns the routing protocol on for interfaces within the IP space that is specified. The network command for EIGRP doesn't require a wildcard mask. And if you don't put in a wildcard mask, a classful wildcard mask will be put in. In this case, we manually placed a wildcard mask into the syntax. That's important because that allows us to constrain beyond the classful portion. So we're saying I only want to turn EIGRP on for interfaces in 10.1.10. That's probably VLAN 10. And the SVI for VLAN 10 would now be running EIGRP. And by running it, we'll advertise the connected route of that interface. And then we have VLAN 20. We'll advertise the connected route of that interface. 10.1.1.1 looks a little bit different. That's this interface right here. That's the interface that's going to the core, going beyond. And their wildcard mask of all zeros just means one IP address. To read the range operator, which is really what a wildcard mask is, treat this as a range by using the IP address that's supplied as the first IP address in the range. And then to find the end, take the sum of the IP address plus the wildcard mask. So this is 10.1.10.0 through 10.1.10.255. And when we have an all zeros wildcard mask, that's a range of 1. Now we've done passive interface default. Passive interface default says, do not speak or listen to EIGRP updates on any interface, essentially disabling EIGRP. But then we override it on the interface we want exposure to the potential of neighborship, and we expect EIGRP neighborship between these two devices. Therefore, we're going to form a neighborship assuming the other switch is running EIGRP and configured appropriately, like running an EIGRP Autonomous System 100 and having the right network command. And then maybe we want to do a route summary out this interface, IP summary, EIGRP, Autonomous System 100, the subnet mask, or subnet and subnet mask we are advertising out. So we're summarizing these two subnets and actually all the 10.1 subnets. Make sure you get the right summary mask. It's not a very good one, but it's the one we're going to show you here. So know how to configure EIGRP, even if you're maybe sitting for an examination at the professional level that covers switches. Be confident in your ability to set up EIGRP on a multi-layer switch.